So Nicole, what I wanted to do is just start with some background about yourself and some of those early influences that got you into this industry. I know maybe a lot has to do with your husband and kind of shared interests, but obviously you have a passion for it, and you've grown in a short amount of time that you've been doing it. So, let me know kind of what got you into that stuff.
Yeah, so like you said, my husband was a big role in this, but we did meet at a car meet a long time ago. And before that, I had an uncle and my dad, and they weren't totally into cars, but my dad definitely made sure that I knew how to work on my own car before I got a car. So, of course, with that being said, I always wanted a fancier car. So that's kind of how that first started, and then that's what made me go to these car meets. So then fast forward a few more years, then I meet Schiller at a car meet, and he was actually driving his Evo at the time, and I thought it was the coolest and funnest car ever, and he actually let me drive it, and I was like in tears. So I mean, from all of that, you can say that that's pretty much how I got involved in it to begin with. And then over the course of the years, Schiller and I have kind of just been working together, and we both had this dream of the shop. And I'm sure I know he told you all about that already. So, and that's kind of where everything stemmed from there. So.
Yeah, but definitely, give us a little refresh about how the shop came about. And I know you guys recently moved into downtown Denver, but kind of had a shop before that. So yeah, you want to talk a little bit about how that all got started?
Sure, yeah. So we both have kind of been doing the whole performance industry type deal on the side. It was only, I think it's been 2 years now. So 2 years ago, we opened our shop and started full time on it. We both have been, obviously, like I said, doing this for years before that, but we decided to make it our profession because we love this industry and we loved what we did so much. So then at that point, we started out basically in this, I think it's a 40 by 60 shop that we have on our property. So we bought some land out in Bennett, and we had our little shop going there for about a year. And then as soon as we were able to grow it enough that we were able to move to Denver, then that's what we did. So we moved out here to Denver. It was about a year and 2 months ago now, 3 months ago. So it was last May. And from there, I mean, we've just been growing like crazy. We can barely even work on our own cars now because we have so many cars and so much work to do. But I mean, like I said, it's a blessing, and this is exactly what we've wanted to do from the beginning. So we couldn't be more happy about it.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Now, Nicole, you mentioned that you've kind of always had an interest in cars, but it wasn't really until you met Schiller that you really got super involved in it. And what was kind of your knowledge of cars and working on engines prior to that?
Prior to that, it was pretty basic stuff. And then when me and Schiller met, he really taught me all kinds of the ins and outs and everything from there. So then I'd say like about 5 years ago or so, give or take, was when he started teaching me how to build motors because he had learned prior to that. So then at that point, I knew that that's something that I really love to do. So then now today, I build all the motors for us.
Yeah, yeah. And then you mentioned that when you saw his Evo at the car meet, you thought it was amazing. What about the Evo in particular, or Mitsubishi, cars of that style, really kind of, why do you gravitate towards those over something else?
Well, honestly, I didn't fully gravitate toward it till after I drove the car. So after I drove the car, I can really say that the Evo 8.9 is a driver's car. I like how the car feels when you drive it. It's really raw and really pure. So the first time I drove his Evo, it was unlike any of the cars that I've ever experienced before. So I knew that that's that was like where my heart was. And that's kind of what made me go so deep into this performance world, was that there. So I really like how the all-wheel drive cars, it's just different. Like these cars are different.
Yeah. And now you have an Evo of your own, of course, right? That that you've been working on for a little while. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you have?
Yeah, so I have my, well, we actually have two of them. So I have my Evo 8, and that one is actually fully gutted right now with a 8.5 cert cage in it. We kind of have it on the back burner because we're working on the Evo 9 right now. And that one, I just built a 2-liter motor for it with all kinds of fun stuff. We've actually been talking with Precision about putting a 7385 in it so that we can race it in classes next year in all the racing events. So we really, really want to make it out to all the racing events and racing classes next year. So hopefully we can get that kind of situated. But I mean, that car is going to have everything from a dog box to everything in between. So we're excited for it. We're finally going to have one of our cars done. So
yeah. And is there kind of a horsepower goal you guys are looking at for that new build?
Yeah, I think it's going to be around 950 and then with 100 shot of nitrous. So
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the plan for it.
Yeah, that sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Now, Nicole, you mentioned that you guys have been doing, performance work for a while, but the iCraveBoost performance shop itself is still relatively new. So can you tell me a little, tell the folks a little bit about what you guys focus on, and then specifically what, your role at the shop has kind of been and how you've grown within the shop?
Sure. So iCraveBoost performance, I mean, obviously it started off of Evos and DSMs because that's what started our passion and fueled our fire for everything. But since then, we have really transformed into like the Skylines, the Supras, and all kinds of stuff. So we work on everything from 4Gs to 4B11s to 2JZs to RBs. I mean, you name it. And all those Japanese cars are kind of our specialty, I guess I should say. I would definitely say that the 4Gs are probably my favorite still, but we do work on all kinds of stuff. We actually even have Ford Focus STs in here right now, and all kinds of fun stuff. So
yeah. And then, like I said, I know you've grown a lot since you guys have had the shop. How's the role that you've played at the shop grown as you've gotten more into it? I know you assemble most of the engines these days. But...
So I didn't always assemble all of the engines all the time. Schiller was doing that as well. But as he takes on more of the role of the customer facing and kind of like organizing the rest of the shop, because that's what he's good at. So he takes on that role, and I was always working on either cars, pulling motors, building motors. I mean, I can pretty much do any of those kind of things. I like wiring, so when we started the shop, I did less of the engine building and Schiller did more of it, only because it was only me and Schiller. So we were trying to juggle all of the different things of trying to just get the clutches done or whatever came our way. And now that we have a few people that work for us, I'm able to focus on what I want to focus on, which is the engine building portion. Schiller's able to run the business and then kind of help out with more of the rest of the just making everything smooth. So I guess in short term, you could say I've moved from being hands-on everywhere to just focusing on perfecting my skills in engine building, which is absolutely my passion.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. It's great to see you grow in that regard. And my next question is kind of related to that. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into assembling an engine the right way. And is there something specific that you like the most about it? And then is there one aspect of assembly that can get hard or difficult, or something you just don't enjoy?
So, so right off the bat, the one thing that I can say is the most difficult about assembling an engine through the whole entire thing is securing the wrist pin lock. So that's my least favorite part. I'm sure that many other engine builders can relate to that because, man, I know that I've definitely fought with those a few times before finding a really good way that works for me. So that would be that. And then my favorite part of engine building, especially now, is having all of the wonderful tools that I have for the job. So I have all of the Mitutoyo tools, and that makes my job way more enjoyable and much easier, and way more precise. So I like that a lot, just because it narrows it all the way down to lots and lots of, like, I can just, it's just so much more easy to do my job. And then my favorite part about doing my job is after I get the whole entire short block assembled, I like to move it and watch it rotate, and it's really satisfying because you did your job well.
Absolutely. Now, do you guys have the dyno at the shop where you get to see them fire up? Yeah,
we do actually. So we have our tuner Steve. He's with Divulge Motorsports, so he's not directly with us, but he tunes for us. And the dyno is a what is it? It's a Dyno Dynamics dyno. So it's all-wheel drive, and we do get to watch them go from broken, disassembling it, pulling the motor, which I actually do take a big role in doing that as well, just so that I know what we need and then can get all the parts and stuff like that ordered for it. And then it goes to the machine shop. We'll come back, come through my office and get assembled, and then the guys will reinstall everything. And we'll do like the wiring, whatever else needs to go on with the car. And then we do get to sit and watch the cars after we've done all this work. And I can't tell you a better feeling than getting into a car that you know that your team has put so much time and effort and like blood, sweat, and tears literally into the car, and getting to see it run and perform, and then giving it back to your customer. And seeing them enjoy their car as much as you enjoy your car. I mean, that's kind of why we started this whole thing, was because we wanted to see people enjoying their cars like we enjoy our cars. So we wanted to kind of like give that to other people, which is also why we went to the route of doing everything in-house, or we're trying to get fully to that. Not totally there yet, because I'd like to have engine machines, but hopefully we'll get there. That's in the future plans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's great. It's certainly a big part of why, many people in the industry do what they do, is to see other people enjoy it as much as they do. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Nicole, how many engines would you say you guys are building, in a week
right now?
Or in a year,
Yeah. Okay, let's say in a week, I probably get about 4 to 5-ish done per week. So in my office and then out, we send so many to the machine shops all the time. And we still have to pull motors. I mean, we have people on waiting lists so that we can get them in once we have more space to pull the motors. I mean, the work is endless, thank God. Very thankful for that. So I can keep building motors and watching the whole process. And like I said, I mean, it becomes less of a job when you love what you do for a living every day.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, that's what's most important. And I found that is what like drives me to keep doing this, is that right there. So
yeah,
even if we don't get our cars done, I still like enjoying doing it and watching everybody else enjoying their stuff too. So
right, absolutely. Nicole, now I wanted to ask you a question. Obviously, the automotive industry in general and the performance industry has historically been more male dominated, and it's nice to see more women getting involved in motorsports, across, numerous jobs and aspects.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I wanted to ask just kind of from your perspective, how has it been being in this industry and working at iCraveBoost? Have you faced some adversity being a female in this industry, or has it been something that you've been able to tackle?
Since we started iCraveBoost, only because I've had my presence online and people like know my face and kind of know who I am. It really hasn't been. But before that, when I was still learning and coming out of high school and wanting to do this stuff, yeah, I mean, it was really hard. You do have the adversity. You have people asking you, like, why do you want to do this? Like, you're a small, cute girl. Why do you want to be in the car industry? And it's different. So I can say, yeah, I have seen it and I have been affected by it, but I don't and haven't let it affected me to the degree of quitting, because like I said, I mean, when you love what you do and you love what you're doing and what you're after, and you have these goals and dreams and all those sorts of things, none of that really matters. So
Yeah.
you end up pushing through it all anyways, but it is there. And like you said, there are more women in the industry now than I think ever. And it's really a cool thing. You get to see lots of younger girls like myself going out and drag racing and just kind of getting involved in the industry, and it is really cool. I think that there's a lot of other males in this industry that are more acceptant of that and of women being in the industry and being good at what they do, whether that be racing, building motors, just working on cars, or all the above. And I think that's a big thing for our industry, because I think that there's a lot of women who can bring a lot of really cool aspects to this industry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's really well said. And I'm sure at this point, more information than a lot of folks out there when it comes to building the cars and engines that you guys build. So that's fantastic.
I think so, but there's always stuff that you learn. And I tell you what, I try to learn something new every single day. And every single day, whether it be out in the shop or in my office, I do learn something new every day. And I'm thankful for that, because this industry is so volatile. So there's so much to learn. And there's so much more that you can do. And there's always ways that you can be better and make things last longer and make things stronger. So I also love that about this industry, because it's always ever changing, and it keeps it fun. Keeps it interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Nicole, I got one other question for you here, and then I'll let you go. But just kind of looking at the future, near future, or maybe a few years out, what has you excited for, stuff that maybe you're personally working on, stuff at iCraveBoost Performance, or maybe even the industry as a whole? What are some of those things that have you excited?
Well, I really hope that we can get this RPM Act passed, first of all, because that's a really big factor in a lot of our goals, and I know for a lot of other people as well. So hopefully we can all keep pushing for that, and that passes through. But with that being said, one of my goals is to, like I said, bring the Evo 9 out and race that car in classes. And then after we finish that car, I want to finish my Evo 8 as well. And that one will be building as a drag car also, but not class specific, more geared towards just as fast as we can make an Evo. So hopefully we'll be working on that within the next couple of years as well. I know that this year and coming next spring as well, that we have a lot of customer cars that we're going to be bringing out. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of those guys and what they do and how those motors do, and what kind of events that they can perform at. And like I said, I just enjoy I enjoy every aspect of it all. So I'm excited for all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, Nicole, I'll just ask if there's anything else that you wanted to discuss, or just anything else that we didn't cover that you want to get across. But if not, I really appreciate you giving me some of your time.
Yeah, of course. I don't think I have anything else for you. So,
Thanks again for your time, and thanks again for being willing to do this.
of course. Yeah, thanks so much, Greg. I appreciate it.